And welcome back to Carpool Chronicles with Hank. And there's a lot to unpack over here. Episode 5. All of you at home that are clamoring for more Hank, you're in luck, because my voice is on the fritz right now. So I'm going to lead into topics and let Hank take it away. We aim to have about a half-hour episode today, and we have some really interesting topics to get to. Let me just reposition this camera. Yeah, much better. Okay, by the way, get used to it. This is the last time you're going to see our crazy Omer beards and crazy Omer hair. Next time we're going to look fresh and dapper for the audience. But without further ado, let's jump into it.
Yeah.
And again, last episode we were pretty happy with the numbers. There was about, how many viewers on our episode?
Oh, way over 300.
Yeah, almost 400 people. So we're making waves, and we aim to continue. And this episode is brought to you by our good friends at Celsius.
Yes, we'll be talking a lot about Celsius today. It's something that my good friend Sam introduced me to.
For better or for worse?
For better or for worse, and we'll talk about that a little bit soon.
So listen, let's jump into what's on everybody's minds. Last week we concluded the M&S Draft. And listen, I conducted the draft. I was on the podium. By the way, 800 live viewers. Holy smokes, that's crazy. Thank you all for watching. And, before I get into it, I know this is not your order of business. I want to thank the sponsors. We actually have real sponsors. We have Yusuf's Tab Card. I'm not going to get into each one, but just telling you who they are. We have G&G Realtors, Milo Sutton, for all your residential and all your needs and your commercial needs. We have bracelets and bands. Jack Rubin BB, our good friend. Also, go to see him for your jewelry. And then finally, we have theohost.com. Get your shades. I'll be sporting them. Hank will be sporting them. We're getting our new ones in next week. Anyway, let's get to it right now. M&S Draft. Hank, give me your gut reaction. I'm not going to get into each team because Max and I are dropping a analysis report, gut reaction analysis report. I just want to hear your take on it.
Okay, so I'm going to go through the guys that drafted the best. I would say the top 2, and then I want to go through the bottom 2 who I thought dropped the ball on the draft overall. Right off the bat, Uri Adler, I think, had the best strategy coming in. He ended up with the most balanced team, and he didn't even make any trades before the draft. He didn't move around. He let players come to him, sort of like a Dano on a good year. Obviously not this year, but similar to what Dano does. He lets the players fall into his lap, and he's always in a good spot to draft. I feel like Uri, unlike last year, where he was in like an awkward spot where he couldn't get all the guys that he wanted. This year he was
forced to overdraft his friends at certain spots.
Right. This year, thank you. This year, that was a pun on me, by the way.
I know.
Freaking. Okay, so this year...
You don't think I know that? I said it.
Okay, good. This year, he was able to get every single guy that he wanted and he needed and he was eyeing. Plus, he had a plan. As we discussed before the draft, he saw the limited options at the outfield position.
I mean, let's hold off on this conversation because it plays into a deeper conversation we'll have after we talk about your initial breakdown, more of the Moneyball aspect. So, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about each draft on a macro level and how you have to come in prepared. But we'll get back to that.
Okay. So what exactly do you want me to break down?
I mean, his team, just give me where you think he did well on.
Okay. All right, so he got his pitcher, he got Ibisaka. He didn't overreach for him, but he took him in a spot where he thought he needed to get him. He didn't want to end up with the last pitcher. So he got Ibisaka, he got his power bat, I think he got Salfalis.
Indeed.
Yes, and he got the hottest bat in YMSL, Nutty Orbach. So
did well.
He did very well. He got Momo Levy to, I think, play center left field.
So to me, the Momo Levy pick was the steal for him, and that solidified his outfield as upper echelon, because Momo is Gold Glove caliber in center field.
So Momo slipped a bit because of his offensive output last year, but I think he's going to come prepared. I heard he's putting a lot of work in, and he's going to be a much better hitter than he was last year. And you always get the defense.
He's also getting more comfortable with the league.
You get more comfortable with the league. You don't have that chip on your shoulder anymore. You're just playing. There's not going to be a lot of pressure on him to put up big numbers. He's going to be about 7th or 8th in that lineup, and
I think that highlights Uri and why he's doing. I think he did it very well. I think he's positioned defensively.
And then he got Morty Shrem in like the 6th round.
I was shocked he didn't go to Edmund.
Pickup.
Yeah.
So listen, Uri Adler is a great infielder, but having him play third is a plus when you have a shortstop like Morty Shrem, who has more range than him. And what Morty did last year in the M&S League, surprising everybody with his glove, having Joey Cohen move to second base.
It didn't surprise the people that know Morty. It surprised me to the degree where he finally did it.
I don't even think he played that well of a shortstop in BKS. I feel like he played even better in M&S last year.
I mean,
that's how good he was.
If you've seen his Melonhead squads in Tahina, which you've had, when he's in control of the team, is when you see he grows as a player. That's why I was shocked, because he wasn't in control of that team. It wasn't his team, but the team was younger.
Right.
So the team that was younger, maybe that's what made him feel more comfortable, and he finally arrived here in our leagues.
And I know he's like a little uncomfortable. He wanted to be drafted to the same team that won last year with Edmund, but I'm going to tell you now, Morty, you're on a great team. So be happy.
I think he is happy.
I think you have a very, very big shot at winning a championship this year.
I mean, you just led into one. Let's go into the other. Edmund's team, the defending champion.
So Edmund came into the draft
focused.
Very, very focused on one thing. He wanted a defensively minded team.
And young and fast.
Yeah, he's trying to replicate what he did last year, and which he kind of did. I don't think he has the same bats he has last year. He had a little more offensive punch, I feel like, last year.
Like who?
Oh, he had Bernie.
Right, but he does have the emergence of Isaac Sasson getting him better and better.
Right.
Back. He does have Buka, who's his guy, his running mate, back.
Right.
Edmund in the Night League hits. He has a lot of extra base hits in the Night League. But you're right, he's missing that punch. But if you're not going to have that punch...
His bold pick was taking Alan Jamel in that spot before Saul Fallis. That was the whoa pick.
Yeah, he went
but
defense.
You know what? He told every single captain that he was taking him. And he knew what he wanted. And he wanted that star outfielder.
Let me tell you something about what he did. He handed me the picks before it was his turn, ready to steal. And almost every time, aside from the Maurice at the end, and aside from Fonz at the end, which, again, it hurt his mojo that he wanted to put together, but it was impressive that he actually came with a plan and succeeded about 85%. So going, after the draft, he did replace Morty Shrem with Jackie Sutton. And Jackie, as we know, 2 years ago, hit. Zach Casson, to me, is going to be a difference maker offensively. Noah Hakeem, great defender. So, incredible. So
he has incredible hands.
But from what I heard, he has zero bat right now. So
yes.
He's need to step it up. Maybe he will.
That's the lack of offense that Edmund is dealing with right now, but I think he can overcome it. I really do.
Okay, let's move on. I think his team is great. I think those two teams we just highlighted, the top two.
Okay.
What are your opinion of the bottom two?
I want to highlight a couple of teams that did a bad job in drafting.
Okay.
The first one, I want to go to Saban. I think Saban started unbelievable. I feel like he really did very well with that trade, getting Yitz and Zach. Zach he had, but getting Yitz in the spot that he did. So he started with Yitz and Zach.
And then he went Mo Shama right away, which he went to forego the outfield opportunity, and there were guys there. But you can't argue with Mo Shama.
Yeah, I was okay with that pick.
The next pick is the head scratcher.
So the head scratchers are, he had 42 and 43, and those two spots you want to see him take, maybe a fast outfielder or
back it up to 28. He picked his center fielder in Eric Citron, who never played the outfield before. That's a bold pick, and he said he's his neighbor. He knows him. He can play center field. Going into the M&S Night League as him as a center fielder, green as it gets, sure he's a winner, but that is going to be an adventure.
I love Eric Citron, but even taking him to play third base, which is his prime position, I think that's still a reach in that spot. Eric Citron, he's a good hitter, but at the end of the day, he's a slab type hitter. And is he a Gold Glove third baseman?
Yeah,
no,
he is. Say he is. Even that's a head scratcher. But obviously, maybe Saban, the Hall of Famer, knows something we don't know, and maybe he wanted him in the outfield. Only time will tell. But that only hammers down the point, and I say hammer for a reason, because his next two available picks was Hebrew Hammer and Leo Setton.
I love Hebrew Hammer. He keeps putting up impressive stats in this league, but taking him at 42 is
go look at the guys that were drafted after him right now.
Is a travesty. And then taking Leo Setton. Leo Setton I play with on Plakata. I love the man. He brings the energy. He's a good left fielder. He's a good hitter. He can hit a deep ball at times. But taking him at 43, I don't like it. I really don't like it. So those back-to-back picks, Hammer and Leo, I'm not the biggest fan of those picks, and I think he's kind of spoiled his draft by taking those two guys. That's why I think Saban is right now is one of the bottom feeders.
I mean, I think he probably thought like a Yossi Abramson would be there for him at like 43, but Abramson was taken at 41 to the Sammy Saruya squad. So, listen, time will tell. At the end of the day,
the JoJo Levy pick was a good pick.
So at the end of the day,
I like that pick.
So here's the answer: if JoJo Levy and Eric Citron can man the outfield, then we're going to shut our mouths. And he did a good job because his offense, like we see on 12 Commandments, is good.
Yeah, he loves picking offense. We know that. That's just the well he keeps going to. You know. So
what's the next team you don't like on the draft?
The other team I didn't like was Sammy Saruya's team. I love how he started. Soli's my boy. I love Soli. He's, by the way, yesterday off an AB, he swung in the second game. He swung 3 times on the first pitch. He had 3 triples, bomb triples.
Wow,
bombs. The first one was to right center. The second one was to left center, and the third one was over the left fielder's head. Bombs.
We're gonna get to YMSL matchup, so let's not spoil that.
But Sammy and Soli, what a good start that was. And then Sammy Saruya, speaking to him before the draft, I knew he was locked into Jimmy. Once you're locked into Jimmy, you know that you're not drafting the team anymore. It's Jimmy's team.
We know that.
I told Sammy, you got to tell Jimmy, I love you. I want to pick you. I want you on my team.
But
this is my team, and I'm the captain, and I'm going to be picking these players. And I feel like as the draft went on, these weren't Sammy's picks. They're not Sammy's type of guys. If Sammy was drafting this team, Momo Levy would be on this team.
If Sammy was drafting this team, just put him on the Staying Alive organization because his entire Mount Orr team is on Michael Malik-Salman's team.
Why is Charles Sultan not on this team?
Any of the guys.
He has so many opportunities.
Move over to Staying Alive. I'm going to read you some players in that team. Staying Alive, that's Melech's team. After Joe West and Stephen Gindy and Saul Cohen, obviously. Charles Sultan, Poob Cohen, Ralph Casson, Richard Levy. Those 4 players are all Sammy Saruya's teammates and classmates. So those guys, especially at the end of a draft like this, is supposed to be on a team like that. So like you said, I agree. It's more of a Jimmy picked team, and maybe even some Soli spice mixed in over a Sammy Saruya making his own decisions.
Yeah, and I really hope this doesn't come back to bite him, and I really hope this kid comes to play. But Howie Hoffman at 27 is a head scratcher.
So Howie reached out to me, and he said...
There's a lot of naysayers, Howie.
He knows that. And he reached out to me. He goes, I love how people are questioning me. Do they not know that I can play ball? So I told him, Howie,
we don't know that you can play ball.
I said, Howie,
you haven't played ball in 3 years, Howie.
I said, Howie's... Oh, he played in the tournament. He impressed. But I said, Howie, it's not about you playing ball or not playing ball. No one's doubting your ability. But the fact that you can get you 2-3 rounds later because no one else saw you, that's the question. We know you're a good ball player.
That's true, too.
Maybe you're going to end up being drafted in this position after you perform in this league. Not being overdrafted, so to speak. But now he has a lot to play for to live up to his draft stock. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. And there's 2 more question marks on this team. Then there's the Benhamu question mark.
I mean, I heard...
Which I think is not a huge question mark because the worst comes to worst, you can throw Jimmy on the mound. Jimmy can pitch.
I mean, okay, but...
Benhamu, I know Sammy doesn't want to hear that, but that's the truth.
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, to be honest. But I do know that Uri Adler took Benhamu out for a BP session, and he gave me
was good. He was impressed.
He gave me a report that's saying the kid throws strikes. I like to hear that. So if the defense is good, that means he'll be okay. If you don't walk guys, he'll be okay. Any other team that you don't like?
No, the second issue with this team is it's going to be there's too many infielders on this team. I feel like they have their shortstop is obviously Sammy. Their third baseman, they have I think Wham is going to play up the middle.
It's good defense, man.
Yeah, I think they have too many infielders. They're going to end up. I think they have a little bit of a logjam between Nussi and Bernie. Who's going to get playing time?
So I think Nussi could end up at third base here. And you could put Sammy Saruya at short, and you put Ralph Lamashama up the middle, and Howie Hoffman's in the outfield, Soli Yes is in the outfield, and Neil Schwecke at second base. What's the problem here?
Neil got traded, and Neil's on this team now.
Neil got
traded. So they have Barnathan. So they have to
Barnathan at second base.
Barnathan's going to play third.
Why? Put him at
Because
second.
He doesn't like second. I'm telling you.
That's nice, Jack. You got traded. You play the spot where you're given. Anyway.
One second. That Nussi at third. What are they doing with Bernie? They have to make Bernie happy.
Bernie plays first base.
You don't have a happy Bernie.
Let Bernie play first base.
4 hitters.
Let Bernie play first base. What's the problem? There's no problem. You're making an issue out of nothing. Their defense
Bernie
alignment.
play first base, but you have Jimmy there.
Jimmy's gonna play.
You have a log jam.
1 game at first, 1 game DH. Bernie DH.
Okay,
Yada yada. It's
they
fine.
have to figure it out.
When I say yada yada yada,
otherwise they're not a playoff team. They have to make everybody happy on this team.
I mean, this is where Sammy Cerulli's
comes in.
has to be a good captain. But when I say yada yada yada, that is paying homage to Seinfeld for Vandelay Industries. Now let's move on. Quickly look at the Longhorn squad. Very old. I mean, Max Yadid, he went with his boys here.
Yeah.
He took Kushner.
I'm a little disappointed in the way he drafted. He came in with a mindset, I gotta have this guy, I gotta have Kushner, I gotta have Loudon,
gotta have Maurice.
Where do I pick them? Like, dude, that's not the way you draft a team.
And if you look at the average age, he has the oldest team in the league by a wide margin. They're all over the age of 28 and change. I mean, obviously that helps that Maurice Haber's in the team. But that being said, Butchie's also on the elderly side compared to the other guys in the league. But there's not a lot of speed after Alco. And you're right. He's going to have to make sure.
So, yeah,
I don't love the team, to be honest.
Listen,
anytime you have Max on the mound,
you have Max on the mound.
You're right.
You have Max on the mound. Ali Marshall, we played him yesterday. We couldn't get him out. He was incredible. I mean, the guy is a different person at shortstop, making diving plays. He's not a liability anymore.
We saw him at the draft.
He's phenomenal.
He literally has an 8-pack. That's just, and I'm not understating that.
He has an 8-pack. Right now, he's one of the top players in the M&S.
Let me see what, Ali, if you're watching this, are you on something? I'm so curious. Creatine, something, roid, shot, this. It's not Celsius. It's not natural for a gentleman of your age, and obviously you're built differently. We know that, but you aren't always in this type of shape. We know. Even if you're working out 6 hours a day, a la Jacobatti, it doesn't make sense to be in this shape. So if you're not on anything, props, bravo.
Yeah.
And if you are on something,
I'm going to make a bold statement.
Props, bravo.
I'm going to make a bold statement. If this keeps going the way Ali's playing right now, and the shape that he's staying in, he's going to get back into the first round in every league.
Why not?
There's no reason not to take Ali in the first round. Why am I taking Michael Cohen in the first round if I can take Ali Marshall, who's a legend, and he looks like he's 30?
Right. One doesn't smoke, one does. One doesn't have nagging injuries year after year. One doesn't. Yeah. One doesn't golf for a living.
One's a loser and one's not.
One's a loser, one's not. I love you, Mike. I really don't. No, I really do. I mean, I'm not sure. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. So we're both unimpressed.
Avrami was a good pick at 26. I think Avrami's a good hitter. He had a very good start at the YMSL season, and he's such a good glove.
You saw Avrami come to the draft with his senses down to his ankles, turning it into a lasso for the Longhorns, reeling in the players that were at the draft. That was awesome.
Zvi Rishti at 45, another great player, YMSL. I like him a lot. I don't hate this team.
He went YMSL laden, but listen, I think they're a playoff team just because he teats the mound and they have players
middle of the pack. I say middle of the pack team.
We went through Edmund Beta's team. We went through the other teams. Adler's team we went through. Gabe and Melech, the two teams we didn't go through. Let's quickly look at Gabe's team. Quickly.
Okay. Gabe, I feel like he has a little bit of a Plakata vibe to it, having obviously his brother and Eddie Harari on the same team. And Avi Dweck. But getting Mark Barsana where he got him, that was awesome. Mark Barsana was coming into his own. And
reigning MVP came into his own last year. Bam Bam is here.
Bam Bam. Bam Bam is incredible. Incredible. By the way, underrated third baseman. So good.
I always say this. Gabe's teams always have immaculate vibes. He picked a team this time that is in question. There's no question. Between Carlos Gabe, Gutman, Zolta, Richter, JM and the PM, that's Jack Mosseri. Everyone fits that. Ricky the Railroad Rothstein, even JoJo Cohen, who actually can handle the glove and the bat up the middle. I like the Gabe team again.
It's funny that he ended up with JoJo.
Yeah, it is funny. However, I still look at them as a middle of the pack type team also. I don't think they're missing
JoJo,
something.
Stop trying to orchestrate trays in the back of Icy's head right now.
You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to.
You're not allowed to.
You're not allowed to. Let's move on to staying alive. The quadrant up top, the biggest question mark on this team right now is Saul Assis. And it's not a question mark. He was 15th overall. Melech gambled. He started off with SJG and Joe S. And then everyone thought he was going chalk and going Saul.
Huge controversy. AB Saka, who's been part of the chevra of the fall ball chat. You know, those guys play pickleball 3 times a week.
I see them in the center. I see them in the center, coming with their pickleball gear, sweating like pigs.
The fact that those guys didn't take AB Saka in those 2 picks, they had a chance of taking 15 and 22, and they passed on him both times. AB Saka, not a happy camper. He's very happy to be a Rory's team.
Chip on his shoulder.
Listen, I don't want to be facing AB Saka in this type of circumstance. Mad AB Saka is
scary.
Scary AB
salty
Saka.
AB Saka.
Yeah.
Stay salty.
Yeah, listen, they took Salas. He's very early without knowing much about him.
That's
really,
the question.
Right?
So someone knows something about him. So Salas came into the draft as the most polarized figure in the draft, talking more smack than we know what to do with. I've never witnessed anything like it. So there's going to be a spotlight and a lightning bolt directly on Assis, and then he got Sol, and then after getting Sol, we have Charles Sultan, which was I think is going to be proving to be a wise pick, and then Melech got himself, and then he went Brescher, Poob, Kareem Abadi, Ralph Casson, Richard Levy, who's a decent backup pitcher option if Assis craps the bed, and then Ray Esses to man that veteran presence and solidify that full vibe. So
it's a good team.
Good team. I mean, again, middle of the pack, not top of the draft. I think they're going to have fun, and that's the M&S Draft recap. Again, stay tuned for more to be dropping this upcoming week. Maybe even tomorrow, I'll drop some live coverage and the actual post-draft analysis from Max and I. Some of this we were already talking about, but it's good to hear a different perspective. Let's move on to the next topic, Hank.
Okay, let's do it. You want to get into YMSL? You want to get
before we do that, we teased it a little bit. Let's talk about Celsius. I mean, tell me how it came about, the conversation, I forgot, and then tell me how it affected you and your gameplay.
So, the first 3 weeks, I hate talking about myself, but the first 3 weeks of the YMSL season, I stunk. 0 extra base hits, no energy on the field. I'm like, Sam, I need help. How were you so good back in the day and back in your playing days? What gave you that energy? What gives you that energy now? And he told me, you know what? It's energy drinks. That's what it was. I don't know if it was Celsius back then.
No, it was Red Bull back then, but yeah.
So he told me, you gotta drink a Red Bull before every single game.
Small ones, but it's gotta be one before the first game, one before the second game. You gotta time it well.
And it gives you automatic energy.
No, it's not energy. It gives you focus. And every time you're at the plate and you're focused, you're that much better than the other guy that's giving up at bats.
What's different about Celsius than a cup of coffee? Is it different, or is there something more to it?
So I'll tell you this. I can't give you a definitive answer, but I will tell you it is a world of a difference. Because if I have a cup of coffee, it's good to pick me up. Okay. A Celsius, I feel like I am zoned in, almost like it's an Adderall in a drink format.
Wow.
It's crazy. It really is.
That's wild.
And I'm not being an advocate because I don't even know. I mean, it says it's safe, university studies, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. How great can it be? I don't abuse this stuff, but when I need it, I take it, and it makes a world of a difference.
Okay, so I said, you know what? It doesn't hurt to try. You know, I'm off to a bad start. Let's give it a shot. I bought a 12-pack of that stuff.
Which one did you buy? I sent you the link.
Send me the link. I bought the cherry Coke one.
Oh, that's brand new. Just came out.
It was good. I drank it way too close to game time. I drank it like 15 minutes before game time.
Doesn't take effect yet.
And it hit me like right when I was stepping into the batter's box for the first time. Jittery as hell. I was like, what the hell am I on right now?
NG.
Sam, what the hell?
NG.
But and I rolled over that first at bat. Not a good at bat. The rest of that game, I was roping balls like I never did the entire season.
So the answer is 45 minutes to an hour before game time, take it. And then in the fifth, sixth inning of game one, you feel like you're still on the high, but take another one, trust me. And then all of a sudden, game two, you're going to be like, whoa! You're going to be like zoned in.
Yeah, but you have to get ready to crash after game two.
Oh, the crash is always, I mean, it's funny. The crash isn't as bad with Celsius as it is with other stuff. Like, to me, 5-hour energy drink, the crash is bad. Right. To me, when it comes to Red Bull, the crash is severe. Celsius, not so much. I mean, it's there, don't get me wrong, but it's not so much.
So we kind of passed it around the whole Plakata team. We got swept, but a lot of guys offensively woke up. I don't know if it's because of the Celsius or not because of the Celsius, but
it's like versus
Nay B. that was when our offense woke up a little bit. So it was good to see guys that haven't really gotten going starting to hit.
It's like in Space Jam when they have the what do they call it? The juice. They put it in the bottle and they're all drinking it. And it was sketch. It was water, but they all like in their head thought it was something else. Anyway, let's move on. Okay. Celsius was touched upon. Next topic, I think we should do your YMSL Roundup. You know what? Before we do YMSL Roundup, let's talk about the Moneyball myth, more of on a macro level. And we touched upon this last episode, but I really think it makes a big difference. Like, for example, people always have the question, when do you draft a starting pitcher? Do you take it early or do you take it late? When do you take the defense? Do you take it early or do you take it late? When do you take the bats? Early? And the answer is every draft is not equal. It really, if you do your research going into a draft and say, hey, we're deep on pitchers, that means you don't got to take your pitcher early. Simple as that. If you look at your draft research and, hey, like we said this year, Uri did a phenomenal job. Hey, we're deep on infielders. Let me draft all the outfield early. Then you'll... Oh, so Moneyball is a draft-to-draft basis. And you could talk more about this because I'm not really doing this. But like YMSL, taking the pitcher early this year probably was the smarter idea.
Right. Look at the two teams that took pitchers in the first round that were sort of non-conventional. Maxi Deed got taken very early by Big Red Machine. Guys were frowning on that until he picked up Sammy Saruya, and the rest is history. They're 8-0 right now. Abe Haber took Edmund Beta with his 7th overall pick.
It was controversial at the time.
7th overall pick. But he said, you know what? With the help of his dad, I'm going to pick the guys that I want to build a team around. The guys that I think, the positions that are shorter, that don't have as much depth, I'm going to take those guys. The guys that I want, I'm going to take them right away. The rest of it will fall into my hands. I'm going to get a couple of steals at the end of the draft. You got Ellie Race in the 6th round. He stole him. They have a very good team. I mean, they're 4-4 right now in the YMSL, but they're having success.
They're positioned for a run.
Exactly, they're positioned for a run. And you see this all over the place. You have to take a deep look at the draft. M&S Draft this year, there's a lot of infielders. Get infielders later. Get Whamma in the 9th round. Get Morty in the 6th round. Don't jump on infielders. Get your outfielders early.
And we saw the teams that did it, like a Saban. That's the team we have a question with.
That's what Edmund did, and that's what Uri did. And those two teams are the best teams because they drafted
on paper.
smart.
On paper. Let's see how it goes. Well, on paper. Anyway, so that's the idea of the Moneyball talk, and I think I agree with it. I mean, we've been preaching this forever, but I want people to start realizing
in general, right now, you're seeing more and more as the leagues get stronger, as the hitting gets stronger, as guys put work into hitting. You need a good pitcher on your team. You can't get away with a guy that just throws strikes down.
Now, touch more upon this on the matchup by matchup basis for YMSL yesterday. There were 4 matchups and there were 4 sweeps. So we see tale of 2 leagues almost. Let's go through one at a time quickly because we're kind of running out of time right now.
Okay, so we'll go through my matchup first. We have Plakata versus the 12 Commandments. The 12 Commandments, they might have had 5 or 6 mercies already on the season. They're incredible offensive team, and we saw that yesterday. They are relentless. Eddie Harari on the mound, as good as he is, he was having trouble navigating that lineup. These guys just put bat on ball, and they hit balls hard. All of them. Nutty, Ali, we got out once yesterday. Saban was unbelievable. Ruby Shalou, great hitter. Just every single play. And then they have Bernie Pindak behind all of that. Right?
Bernie's not even hitting.
Right, he's not even hitting. Plus you have DH batting like 9th. And you have Tzvi Rishti, Shimmy Cohen, all these guys, when you have these 7th, 8th rounders.
I don't even know Shimmy was on that team. I saw him in shul this morning with that.
He's hitting good.
Weird smile on his face. Now I understand why.
Yeah.
He's grinning ear to ear.
He's very excited. But yeah, that team is just relentless offensively. And then they have Nate B on the mound.
Right.
It's like...
the only thing is, are they poor defensively at all? Because that's the one thing that could be a bugaboo in the playoffs.
So I feel like Bernie's having a little bit of a rough time on the right side. He's playing second base.
You could hide that a little bit, though.
Yeah, but other than that, the defense is excellent. Like, they don't have many holes on that team. You play this team, there's very, very small room for error. If you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, and that's what happened to us yesterday. We made a few mistakes,
and they owned you. You can't give them an opportunity. All right, let's move to the next matchup.
Okay.
Next matchup was what we spoke about him before. Big Red Machine faced.
So Big Red Machine swept Stratton Oakmont.
That's the Uri Adler team.
That's the Uri Adler team. So I thought that was going to be a split. I think Big Red had a big comeback in one of the games. They put up 9 runs in game 1, like in the first inning. That game was over before it started. I think Stratton made a nice comeback in that game also. But Maxi D keeps rolling. It just comes to prove to you how when you have a good pitcher on the mound, especially with Sammy Suri behind you and that defense that they have, Hank at third, they have a strong outfield, Alco in center field, that works. Good defense.
Plus good pitching.
With
enough hitting.
Plus enough hitting with speed in the beginning of your lineup. It's a good formula.
Recipe for a championship roster, honestly.
It's working.
And then who they faced? Stratton.
Stratton Oakmont.
I heard their defense up the middle is a suspect.
They're having some problems with their defense up the middle. With Ruby up the middle. Ruby's usually great.
It's funny because Ruby can play shortstop. So what's going on with him?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe he could contact the Chronicles to let us know what's happening.
I'm sure he will.
Okay.
So that's interesting. Next matchup, we had Nanu Nation getting swept. Who'd they face?
Nanu got swept by the 61.
61. No, that's Zach. No.
TarHeels.
Jack Abadi's team. So Nanu Nation, I had a quick conversation with my brother who's on Nanu Nation. I know he's showing up to play. He's loving third base. He's not getting enough balls at third base.
Yeah, he's crashing into fences face first.
He's making the highlight reels.
Yeah.
He's hitting well again. But it seems as if the stars on Nanu Nation are not shining bright enough to carry the rest of the team. And if your stars, your top round picks, I know Joe G had a very rough game yesterday.
Right. So last week he was good. He was very good last week. He came to play. He was focused. He played great. This week, for some reason, he was not focused at all.
Okay, I mean that happens, but at the end of the day,
to remind everybody, last year
he was an animal last year.
The guy that he hit the 3 home runs off of in week 1 was A.B. Saka.
Right. And yesterday he faced A.B. Saka.
We have a small fantasy item that we have. One of us in the Cyclones chat. I picked Joe G without even thinking twice. I'm like, he's facing A.B. Saka. He's going to have 4 homers, and he had 1 hit on the day.
So it's obviously a focus thing. So who knows? Whatever. But Joe G is the type of player that could just snap out of it next week, go 8 for 8, and then erase what happened yesterday. But
he's that dynamic.
That being said, if you have a game or a week, you can't afford your first round pick going 1 for the day and leaving guys on base.
Yeah.
And if you are going to have a day like that and the bottom of your lineup isn't doing their job, which, by the way, we didn't even touch upon, the Big Red Machine, bottom of their lineup is the reason why they were powered yesterday.
Yes.
I mean, that's this recipe for a team that's under 500. On the opposition of that, you have on the TarHeels.
I want to talk about their pitching. So we keep talking about pitching.
Right, Leo,
I was watching the highlights from yesterday. You can't walk the first 3 batters of the game. He walked JT, he walked Jack, JT, and what's his name to lead off the game? Jimmy. 3 walks in a row with no one out.
For a disaster.
You can't do that. How do you expect your team to win?
I mean, that's always Leo's bugaboo. He'll pitch lights out for sometimes and we'll have 1 melt an inning. But we've seen Leo win many times, so it's not like he can't win. But that definitely puts you guys behind the 8 ball.
He's got to have the right camaraderie around him. He's got to have the right defense around him, and he's got to have a lot of offense.
White Walker, Swifty. I mean, I've seen it myself. So either way, I mean, that's a tale of 2 teams. Next up is the 61s, which is Zach Ashkenazi Jigga team
versus the Cobras.
Versus the Purple Cobras,
which is Dano's team.
And you already alluded to it before. Dano's squad is not living up to expectations.
No.
And big sweep, getting them right back in the mix.
All right. So Dano, the whole season has been a very big jumble for him. He started off losing Michael Cohen after week 1.
It's very tough to come back from that.
He lost. Sorry, he lost Michael Cohen before week 1. He didn't even have Michael Cohen to start. ABJ, Hazidi had his son got into an accident in Israel. He missed a week or 2.
Is everything okay?
Everything is okay now. ABJ's back.
Sure.
Thank God. And he got Mo Shama to replace Michael. And Mo ended up playing shortstop. And whatever, they had to figure things out on the fly, and it's just not working for them with Jeffrey on the mound right now.
I mean, again, it's still early, but it's not early, really, really early. There's still time to turn it around. But
Running out of time.
We're running out of time, so let's quickly move on. To the 61 team, Zach Eshkenazi moved to the outfield because Nunny went out, and the replacement for Nunny, that rookie,
So Eli
Braha, I heard they let him off, and he played well, so that's huge for them.
Yeah, Sim Adler was a huge pickup for them.
Just got to plug in the SIM card, and good things happen.
Unbelievable. He shut them out in game 1. I think he had a great game 2 also. It's good to see him back and confident and better than ever. We love you, Sim.
Is that all the matchups for YMSL?
That is all the matchups.
Okay, quickly, let's just finish off like this. Number 1, I want to talk about, that you mentioned, the LBA atrocity.
Listen, this has been going on for a couple of years now. The exhibition game in LBA, a week before the season, nobody wants it.
Damn it, you said last week you loved it.
The exhibition game?
You said the exhibition. I'm excited. Exhibition.
I'm excited that LBA is starting. I'm not excited about that freaking exhibition game. Who the hell wants a meaningless game?
You said the word atrocity. What made it an atrocity?
It's an atrocity. It's an atrocity because you know what? People have better things to do in their life than to play softball. If we're going to play softball, let it be a meaningful game. Don't make us play a bad game that we're not interested in playing.
Yikes.
Meaningless.
I mean, just to get the kinks out, not everyone's playing YMSL, so a lot of these guys, they use it for
play
something.
Friday pickup game. Don't make an LBA exhibition game. It gets it off to a bad start.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe if you position
it's a bad taste.
If you position it better, I could see it being a good thing, but it seems like they hyped it up. And
you know what? Maybe you should do an exhibition M&S game.
I wouldn't do it because we don't need it.
It sucks.
No, because all my players are playing on week 10 of their leagues already.
Are you saying that you would do it if not?
If there was no ball being played at all whatsoever.
Who the hell doesn't play ball?
Okay, so maybe that's the difference of LBA versus YMSL/M&S. That's the difference.
If you're coming into LBA Tier 1A and you didn't pick up a baseball bat yet, you're a nebuck.
So there's the answer.
You don't belong in the league.
So there is your answer. You shouldn't have Tier 1 exhibition. Tier 2, 3 exhibition makes sense. They're going to live and learn. They're going to watch this, and I know Shimon's going to be like, no.
And
learn from it. It's good.
And you know what the product is right now? Right now, we're searching for a team. We're trying to put together a team. We're a hardcore LBA team, and we can't string together 8-9 people to play this stupid exhibition game because nobody wants to play.
So at that point, you just scrap it. You should just keep it as maybe some batting practice and call it a hit around at that point. Maybe you guys should have done that, by the way.
Why is this getting my blood boiling?
Call it a hit around. That's what you should do. I don't know why you're getting so crazy from it. Anyway, before we pull into the parking lot right now, I just want to end it off talking about that we are about a month away from the RSK tournament. I am the voice, and I like to contribute to that tournament as much as I possibly can. It's one of my favorite days of the year. The collection of talent is always, here. It's a great tournament, well put together, amazing organization, and we're going to have some great news and tidbits and things rolling out slowly on the Chronicles to hype you guys up for that tournament. And guess what? There's a lot to talk about. Hank, what do you know about that tournament?
Listen, we're going to get a lot more into it as time goes on, as we get closer. I feel like a week before, we're going to start ramping it up. We'll get into details about each team, but that tournament lives up to the hype every single year.
I love it.
It gets more and more talented, and it's just awesome. It's an awesome day of softball and fun for the family, and we're looking forward.
I'm pumped. I'm excited. Hope you all enjoyed the latest episode of the Chronicles. I think we some way went to 40 minutes this time.
I love it.
Even though my voice is giving out. And I think the next time we're going to drop an episode is going to be some point next week, because I'm out of here tomorrow. I'm in Indianapolis the next day. I'm in Jersey the day after that. And then Friday we don't go to the city. So maybe next week, Monday. So, guys, exciting stuff. Love you all. Hope you enjoyed the show. And we may have some exciting guests on the docket that we're working with right now. But today you just get raw emotion of Sam and Hank. This has been Carpool Chronicles with Hank. And I talk too much. I apologize. And until next time, peace.